What is going on, guys? We are back with another quote-unquote NFL draft redo. We are with the Bears, obviously, and we are doing 2012 through 2014. We've done this already, but with the Bears, they're a little bit different, so there will be some repeats. There will be some picks you might not like, but in my opinion, they are pretty damn good and a lot better than the Bears would have taken. Also, if you guys want to see another one of these within the week, if we can get 200 likes on this video by Friday, I will post one on the weekend. So, unless it's like the night of Friday, it's got to be like early Friday, so I at least have a little bit of time. But anyways, besides the points, I'm going to start this thing off. Trying to do these things a little bit differently every week, so let me know what you guys think. But 2012, we've seen this phase before, but at 19, they take Shea McClellan, and I believe he is a Patriot right now, if I'm not mistaken. But more importantly, the Bears landed someone better. They wanted linebacker, they got linebacker. Bobby Wagner at 19. I believe Bobby Wagner was taken mid-early second round. So goes a little bit higher here, but obviously a much better choice than Shea McClellan. Then at number 45, the Bears, they actually selected a pretty damn good player, Alshon Jeffrey. But of course, we know now he is a Eagle, or an Eagle if you want to be grammatically correct. But instead, the Bears solve a position that has eluded them for years. Following a team theme, Russell Wilson, stolen from the Seahawks here. A great player, a much better option than the Bears have had within the last... I honestly don't even know the history enough to make a judgment. I think easily the last probably 20, 30 years, most likely, at least. Even then, even their Super Bowl years, they weren't even that great at quarterback. So, Russell Wilson, if he started his career in Chicago, would almost certainly end his career as the greatest quarterback to play for them ever. I don't even think that's a debate. And of course, wide receiver, a huge issue for the Bears, especially since they lost Alshon Jeffrey. You know, what's his name? Cameron Meredith. He is injured for the season. Kevin White, he is just bust city. The Bears took Brandon Harden, eyes, both in the ends part. And I remember he was like a pretty tall safety. I liked him a lot, him in Madden. But instead here, they take a wide receiver, and he's going to a team like the Bears. Not really much of a downgrade for him. And T.Y. Hilton, 87 overall. Going to be the slot wide receiver for us, which tells you got some more picks coming for you soon. So, of course, 111, the Bears took tight end Evan Rodriguez. He looked okay for like a year, but, you know, I'd say it's safe to say that they get a much better player here. Instead of Evan Rodriguez, they get Mike Daniels. My Packers, Mike Daniels. He's a great player, a mean mofo. Something the Bears really could use, if we're being honest. And now at 184, this is an interesting one because they take Isaiah Frey. I believe he was a defensive back. But they could have had Danny Trevathan. But instead of Danny Trevathan, I decided to go with someone a little bit better. Vontaze Burfict. Danny Trevathan found his way onto this team through free agency anyways, so I don't see why they would want to draft him. Maybe, I guess, if he was on the team all this time, he might have been a little bit better since he'd be more comfortable. I have no idea, but I would say Burfict, bit better player than Danny Trevathan, at least a little bit better. And now into the last pick of the 2012 draft, 220, the Bears took Greg McCoy. I believe he was a quarterback, if I'm not mistaken. And instead, they take a position of need. Not the most exciting pick in the world, but Ronald Leary. He's like an 83 guard, but we put him at tackle to fit the need a little bit more. And he goes up to an 86, I believe it says 84 here, but 86 I'm pretty sure. So, great pick there. A lot better, especially since they really need linemen. Not even a question. And now this one was a tough one. 2013, we could have went with the traditional, easy choice, DeAndre Hopkins, but instead, we're going to go with one of the cornerbacks. There's 3 great cornerbacks that they could have taken at number 20. Of course, number 20, they took Kyle Long. Looked okay early. Kind of fallen off since. I believe he's been injured a lot. The first pick, 20th, first round, 20th pick, Xavier Rhodes. Great player. Cornerback is a huge need. I mean, for a lot of teams in the league, but a huge need. I made the argument that already with T.Y. Hilton that wide receiver is not as big of a need as cornerback is for the Bears, so Rhodes it was. And then talking about wide receiver, here in the second round, 20th or 50th pick, Jonathan Bostic. John Bostic, I believe he was on the Patriots last year. I don't remember if he's still there or where he is right now, but of course he's not on this team, which is the most important part. There was a choice between Travis Kelce and Keenan Allen. I think you guys could probably tell where we were going with that. Keenan Allen, 25 years old, very, very young. Started in the league at 21 years old. That is amazing. A little injury prone, but tell me Travis Kelce isn't, and I'll sell you a bridge. So wide receiver, huge need. We now have picked up 2 since 2012, and we are moving on to our next pick. At 117, there's going to be a new face that we probably won't see too much in these redos, but we'll see. Of course, Kasheem Green, they selected. I think he was actually on the roster as well, but instead, they take another ex-Packer. At least this guy used to be a Packer. Now he's not at all. Mike Daniels is still on the team, but Micah Hyde, I knew he was always going to be great. He was so good for us. He was a do-it-all player. Casey Hayward, I will admit, early on, I was like, you know what? I think Casey Hayward's lucky. I think he's just really lucky. If you watch his rookie year with the Packers, 90% of his greatest plays in that year were all just very, very lucky scenarios. You know, tip picks. You know, the receiver falls down and he gets a pick, whatever it may be. But Micah Hyde, he was a do-it-all for us. We didn't utilize him as great as we could have because safety just wasn't a need. So glad he is on the Bills. You know, glad he's doing well. Sucks another great defensive back on for the Packers. And then at 163, the Bears take a very, at least in my personal experience of watching a little bit of Bears games, an interesting guy, Jordan Mills. And if you guys don't know why it's interesting, I remember Cutler and him getting into like a little scrap. I think Cutler like was pushing him around and stuff. I mean, it was just so comical because it was just like, Cutler, you do realize this guy could eat you alive, right? He has like 100 pounds on you, and you go down if the wind blows too hard one day. And instead of Jordan Mills, they do take a lineman here. Could have chosen a bit of a better one, though, and that would be the Lions' Rick Widener. Oh, God. I don't even know what team. I know what team he's on the Lions right now. I believe he was drafted by the Ravens. But for some reason, something is telling me he was on the Chargers for a little bit, but I don't know if that's even true. I think he was always a Raven, and then now he's on the Lions. I think he is, but a way better pick than Jordan Mills. Jordan Mills, I would assume, is not in the league, and if he is, he's just a backup somewhere. And now here we get a little bit repetitive. 188, the Bears take Cornelius Washington, but they find a much better undrafted player that fills their defensive backup quite nicely, and that would be A.J. Boye, 26 years old, of course, now a Jaguar, and a great need for the Bears, and they take him here. So, one more pick in the 2013 draft, and we are on to the final draft year. 2013's final pick, 237. They take Marquez Wilson. I loved him in Madden because he was so young. Still is young. I think he's like 24 or 25. Started in the league at like 20 or 21. He was so beast. But instead, they take a different wide receiver from the same division as well. Let me know if you guys can guess it. He's undrafted, and it is Adam Thielen. So Adam Thielen, he's a little bit of a older guy. He started in the league at 23, 84 overall. I believe he's actually an 86 overall. But wide receiver, a pretty decent need for this team. And there they select the much better choice at wide receiver, Adam Thielen. At least he is for the Vikings at the moment. And now we are on to the final year, 2014. Of course, with the 14th pick, the Bears selected Kyle Fuller. Rookie year didn't look too bad, but a way, and I mean way better pick. Some of you guys might find it controversial for me to choose this pick, but I think especially with what the Bears need, this is clearly the best option, and they take Zach Martin, maybe even the best offensive lineman in the league. Who knows? Zach Martin's a 98 overall. He's almost 99. He is amazing. I think it's safe to say that this was the best pick they could have had at 14. They just missed. Who was it? Was it Aaron Donald? I think Aaron Donald was a pick or two before, if I'm not mistaken. It was somebody big. I can't remember who it was, though. Now, number 51, they took Ego Ferguson. He was okay for him a little bit. Not really a great pick. And they could have added a choice of 3 wide receivers. The usual Jarvis Landry, Devontae Adams, Allen Robinson. I think with the fact that we already have T.Y. Hilton, that Jarvis Landry is a little bit of an outlier. So let me know who you guys would have chosen. But I chose Davante Adams. 88 overall, Davante, 6'1", 24 years old. Started in the league at 21. That's good stuff. Really turned into a star wide receiver. I just hope we re-sign him. I don't know. I really don't know if we're going to be able to get him back, because he's like, the way he's playing this year, he's going to want to be paid as a top receiver. And unless we restructure Jordy and Cobb, I don't know if it's going to happen. But luckily in this world, the Bears don't have to worry about anything, because he's willing to play for almost free. Here at 82, there's a lot of picks in this draft. Here at 82, they took another defensive lineman, Will Sutton, and instead they could have taken a guy that we've seen quite a bit so far, but he fits just so well. And that would be Devontae Freeman, 93 overall. And, that's a great pick. Almost any team could use him in the league. Pretty much every team could use him, really. And yeah, they take him instead. Now here at 117, not quite as great of a pick, and it's really not even needed, but if we're redoing it, we got to redo every pick that isn't great. They took Kadeem Carey at 117. He was on the team for quite a bit, but never really got anything done. And instead, they take a disgruntled employee from the Steelers, Martavis Bryant. If he thinks he doesn't have much of a role there, wait till he joins as the number 5 wide receiver on this roster. Technically, number 6 if Cameron Meredith was healthy. And here at 131, another similar site, the Bears took Brock Vereen, safety. I believe he was white. Call it racist. I'm a white guy. I can say whatever the hell I want. But, I mean, your percentages drop so much. It's like drafting a white running back. It's like, do you really want to do that, bro? But instead of Brock Vereen at 131, they take Telvin Smith, who's having a career year, and he's an 86 overall, 26 years old, so fast. I remember we had him on our primetime league in the Falcons last year, and he was such a great number 2 to Deion Jones. It was unbelievable. It was like you couldn't tell the difference between the two. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. But because of all these linebackers, we also do change to a 4-3 again, because that's the best fit for what we have. Another similar site yet again. 183, the Bears took David Fales, the quarterback, and let's just say it was a failure. What? And instead they take a number 3, I believe, maybe number 4 player that they could use big time. Almost anyone in the league could use one. I said it already in this video, but Malcolm Butler, Super Bowl, whatever the hell the Patriots one was, savior, Malcolm Butler. Yeah, he is our number 3 corner. He started in the league really old, though. What is he, 24 starting in the league? Jesus. Undrafted it is. You can make the argument, but 191, I like to, choose one of the picks, if it's correct, to keep it correct. And I think, the fact that Pat O'Donnell's been on the team for 3+ years tells me they made a good choice. He's got the little cut. I can't tell if that's even like a choice in his hair, or if like a grizzly bear caught him. He got unlucky, but 191, correct pick, Pat O'Donnell. Then for the final pick of the draft of 2014, the Bears took Charles Leno Jr., who was on the team still, so, argue what you want. But instead, at 246, they could have had Cameron Brate, who I believe was undrafted. I make the argument that he's almost perfect for the Bears. A little bit low on the run block, I suppose, but almost perfect for the Bears. And I think it was a better choice here to take Brate over Leno. Maybe it's not a great choice to start Brate over Zach Miller. Yeah, we're not going to start Brate. Zach Miller is much better, in my personal opinion. He is obviously a lot older, but it is what it is. And this is going to be the squad, though. This is what we're looking at. Because of the redo at the offensive line, we're actually really stacked here. It would have been Kyle Long and a bunch of 70s. My throat keeps coming up. It's a bunch of 70s instead. And that would have been much worse. Kyle Long was only like a 78 overall. But this team upgrades quite tremendously. And, the biggest one being Russell Wilson. Devontae Freeman's huge. Defensively, Amos stays on the squad. Hicks does, Goldman, and McPhee. This was the best option, by the way, to put Mike Daniels on the outside. So they'd have elite tier there. And, he's not too slow. And obviously we are in a 4-3. So we are looking a lot better. Jarrell Freeman probably shouldn't even be in the starting roster, but we'll allow it. just for today. And here we have a bye week, it would appear, and we are 13-3. Let's show you guys we did not cheat. I mean, it's the Bears. If you think as a Packer fan I'd want them to look good, you're crazy. Ooh! 59-0 and 65 to 27 or to 21. That is the highest score I've ever seen in a sim game. That's pretty impressive. Wow, Russell went off. He must have been really inaccurate. What? I do not know how passer rating works. I have officially completely lost it. 73% completion, which is amazing. 6 touchdowns, 254 yards, 0 picks, and it's 138. How is that not perfect? Jordan Howard will clean up nicely. Look at that Browns matchup as well, I suppose. And what do we got here? Oh my God, they locked him down. Wow, Russell Wilson. How is he not MVP? Just in 2 blowouts, he was 12 touchdowns for 0 interceptions. How is he not MVP? I'll never know. I don't know why I'm talking like this. So let's take a look. Russell Wilson, 40 touchdowns, 12 picks, 4,200 yards. Rushing. Devontae fumbled a little bit, but still great. Almost 1,600 yards, 4.4 a carry, 11 TDs. Jordan Howard, 4.0 average, 13 touchdowns, 1 pick. Receiving, Keenan went over 1,000, but only 1 touchdown, while T.Y. had 16 of those bad boys. That is unbelievably low. 1 touchdown for the number 1 wide receiver. Even with the injuries off, Keenan Allen somehow injured his hands to where he couldn't get touchdowns. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Pernell McPhee, 13, 9 for Hicks, 6 for Daniels. Not great in the sack category. Picks, not too bad, I suppose. Connor Barth, okay stats. Returning, nothing. Offensive yards, number 2. Defense, what is defense? Number 1. Wow, we were actually looking pretty good. Bears, Russell Wilson, number 2. That is unfortunate. We had the best roster, and we turned the Bears into a 13-3 team. Or not the best roster, the best record. Turned the Bears into 13-3 and didn't get best coach. You know how hard that would be? That would be a goddamn miracle. Bears, couple of awards there. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Dalvin. Defensive Rookie of the Year, no. Russell Wilson, best quarterback, obviously. Zach Martin, best offensive lineman. Best linebacker, Wagner and McPhee. I don't know how McPhee got up there, though, to be honest. Got a couple of awards. Oh, my nose. Oh, my nose is itching. Oh, Jesus. Got a couple of awards, but more importantly, can we win a Super Bowl? Go on, see who we have to play. Don't know what this team's ranking is, but probably good enough to beat most teams. Let's take a look, though. Going against the Panthers, watch we lose week 1. We do not. Going against the Eagles now. This is for the Super Bowl berth, and it's against the Texans. So last shot here, and it's against the 10-6 Texans. This could very well be the first Super Bowl win. Is it? And if you want to see the results, you're going to have to be paying a $9.95 DLC fee. That will be the video today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hey! Let's take a look first at what it was leading up. Obviously no wildcard game. 52-14 against the Panthers. Sweet. 52-31 against the Eagles. I've seen a trend. Although Houston was looking good too. Super Bowl 28-20. The first redo Super Bowl goes to the Chicago Bears. 2 interceptions from Russell Wilson. That's rough, but 4 touchdowns. The old Wisconsin man himself. Okay, rushing was okay, not great. Receiving, Zach Miller, the huge savior himself. I really wasn't crying. I just turned my sad, weird, dry mouth thing into a cry. Who the hell was B. Allen, by the way? Bo Allen. Legend. Brian Cushing, a legend, too. Malcolm Butler, Super Bowl savior once again. Sorry, my voice going. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. Some of it was cringe just because my voice keeps coming back up at me. Not everyone had a 1-year deal because I obviously drained the contracts for a lot of these guys. See how much money we would have? 97 mil. Yeah, that's a lot of money, though. A lot of these guys would not get contracts. Yeah, that would be rough. got extended. Thanks for the extension, lads. You know what I mean, the extension. But hope you guys did enjoy. If you have any suggestions for years, specifically teams with years, because obviously almost every year there's going to be a good draft, but you know the team has to coincide with that draft. Like I think 2011 would have been a great year, but the Bears didn't have a lot of picks that year, or some, you get the gist. Oh, the voice is going. I don't know what to do. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy. Any suggestions for experiments or what if videos as well, let me know. And I need to do something. My mouth and nose is just so dry. Like I said, all the cringe that you're hearing, normally I'm a little cringe, but it's all me trying to recover from goddamn nose crap. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's probably the weirdest shit ever. But if basically, I can't speak sometimes, actually quite often, because it gets so dry that my mouth, like, it almost curls up. I don't know how to explain it. You guys hopefully know what I'm talking about. But until next video, see ya!